Welcome to the original Theme Park Podcast. This is your announcer, Neil Patrick Harris. And now, CoasterRadio.com.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the live look-in. Sorry, it's been a while. It's been a while since we've done one of these, and I place the blame on myself.
Yeah, you know, we do it. We do what we want to. What we want to do and what we can do.
Yeah, that's true.
We do what we can do. It's been tough times for everybody.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard to balance like real life and podcast life sometimes. But still, I'm happy that we still do the show. The show has not like been off except for the one week.
We've been doing pretty good with keeping the shows going even without a lot of roller coaster stuff happening. I would be curious to know. I mean, we try our best to do the look-ins Tuesdays at 9:30. Mm-hmm. Are people sitting there at their computers enough that they would want us to do look-ins? Like when we change it, I mean, we try to announce, right, that the look-in is going to get delayed or not going to happen, or announce that we're definitely going to do it. But would people want us to say, hey, it's Tuesday, but we're going to do it now. It's 4:00. Yeah. Would people want us to?
That's a good question. That's a good question. Like to the people, because you've seen
if they've got it up on their Twitter feed.
Yeah.
Would that be enough? Are people sitting with their computers open already and they would just click it and watch it? Or
that's a good
people
point.
Actually.
Yeah, that's a good point for all of you out there, like who watch this, and a lot of you say you look forward to it every week. And that's great. But what if we didn't do it at 9:30? What if we did it at 4? Would you tune in then too? Or do you like just for those of you on Patreon, just having it there? Like, could we recorded and then you watch it? Some people do that. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see what we should do. Yeah.
Let us know.
Okay.
All
right, great. Well, let's record, shall we?
Let's do this. Okay.
This is and speaking of doing episodes, this is the 40th episode of the season. So we're going to hit...
We're on track.
42, which is where we normally hit. So yeah, we're right on track. Good. Okay, here we go. Let me start recording here locally. Okay, here we go. Coming up, good news about Halloween as another park event gets added to the calendar.
Oh, we're going to be hearing from you guys with live trip reports from inside the parks.
And we're also going to find out about those attractions that you've always wanted to ride, but just can't seem to get on your credit list.
All right, it's coming up on this week's Coaster Radio.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the original Theme Park Podcast. You are listening to CoasterRadio.com. My name is Mike. I am here with EB. We are ready to talk about your favorite subject. We are ready to talk about your favorite subject and ours, theme parks and thrill rides.
Theme parks and roller coasters. That's what we're here for. It's CoasterRadio.com. Welcome, everybody. We do have some really good theme park talk, specifically roller coaster talk. Well, I guess now that I think about it, it's not just roller coasters, because the question posed in our interactive topic for this week was, what theme park is your white whale?
Yeah.
So we're talking about parks in general, not just a roller coaster that's your white whale. Because I know that conversation has happened before on CoasterRadio.com. The roller coaster, that is the one that you really want to go after and find. But now we're talking parks. What park do you want to go to?
Yeah, and I think we can also, because I think some people sent in not only the parks they want to go to, but also specific rides. You know, so I think we'll talk about those too, because I was kind of putting together my list, and there's some rides that I don't think I've even told you about that I really want to get on. Like back in the old days, it was Six Flags Magic Mountain. That was the park, and all of the rides in that park were my white whales. But then we took care of that last year with the Coaster Radio meetup, and that was fantastic because like Superman the Escape got taken care of, Twisted, Colossus, so many there that were just iconic, and you know now they're checked off the list. So I've got some new ones for you. That'll be fun. We'll talk about in the second half of the show.
Good. Okay. I want to talk about that too. So at the top of the show, Mike, we are going to be doing our news, of course, and we start that with our first drop.
I like some good news, man. Good news, because you know we're talking about Halloween coming up, and we've got, by the way, 3 more shows, including this one, till the end of this season. So
that's right. So we're coming up to the end here. We usually take a few weeks in September off and then come back for haunt time.
Yeah.
And that's perfectly appropriate because a haunt is our first drop.
Yeah. And so I like this because I was starting to get worried that there would not be enough theme park related things to do in the Halloween season. Mm-hmm. But then we get a press release from Six Flags Great Adventure in New Jersey that says HalloFest is coming this fall. It's going to be great. Yeah. So
Hallowfest. Now that's not normally what they call it, though.
I don't think so. Don't they call it something else? Isn't it like Scream something? And I should know.
Well, it's Six Flags Hallow Scream, right? Is the name of it across all the chains. And so that this was something that we talked about on Theme Park News, the daily podcast and news briefing that we produce. Was that Six Flags was gonna push forward with something, but they weren't sure what. So now here it is, like we were talking about then. The parks are starting to pop up and saying, okay, here's what we're doing, because it's not going to be the same across all Six Flags. Each park is going to be looking at what they're capable of, what the situation is in their region, and then designing a Halloween event that fits and is appropriate. And it looks like Six Flags Great Adventure is kind of first out of the gate with really detailing what it's going to be.
Yeah, and I just did a quick check. It was Fright Fest. Six Flags was Fright Fest, and Hallow Scream is Busch Gardens.
Gotcha. Okay.
So Fright Fest.
But nobody is Scream Fest?
Yeah, no.
Did I say Scream Fest?
Yeah. No, I think you said Six Flags Hallow Scream. And so that,
okay.
Yeah. But I think, and that way the fact checkers won't get on us, which is good. But I think calling it Hallow Fest kind of shows you what they're thinking, that it's going to be different than Fright Fest. It's going to be kind of a all-encompassing event, not only for scares at night, but I think for families during the day.
Yes, and Cedar Point, they've already come out. Cedar Fair has said that their parks are probably going to be doing something more low key as well. They're doing the fest. I think leans a bit more into it's harvest time. Come trick or treat, and there's pumpkins and hay bales.
Yeah. So here's what they're saying: thrills by day. They're going to have things for the little witches and goblins, and I'm reading right off the press release here.
All right.
A lot of trick or treat trails. Hail bale mazes.
There they are.
And fall decor. But then the chills by night, they're talking about the roller coasters, of course, being open. But then some interesting things here. A limited number of nighttime scare actors will always remain at least 6 feet away from other guests and each other. Except the scarier ones, which will get within 6 feet. Then it's a real scare.
Right.
They're saying no indoor mazes, no indoor haunted house or indoor shows. But some haunted trails and scare zones will be operated outdoors with social distancing strictly enforced.
Interesting. So the strictly enforced, that's going to be kind of interesting to see, because parks have been saying strictly enforced with that, and we have not been seeing it.
Yeah. What do you think about it? Like, is it even worth at this point Halloween events if you can't do it the way it's supposed to be done? If a scare actor's got to be 6 feet away from you? Like the enjoyment of a scare maze is that they get so close to you to scare you. What?
Well, couldn't you ask the same question about absolutely everything that's going on right now? Right? Like, is it even worth it for me to go to the grocery store? It sucks. It's not the same. Well,
true,
no, you can still go. Is it still worth it for me to go seek out the live music? Well, yeah. I mean, it's on the patio outside the brewery instead of inside the bar, but you should still go.
Yeah.
It's just different. It just sucks. And that's the thing I think is good, is that it's universally sucks for everything right now. Right. Movie theaters are supposed to be opening up at the end of this month in my town. And I was like, wow, I would love to go back and see a movie. I have really missed going to the movies.
Right.
But it's going to be really different. And I don't know how comfortable I'll be, but I really want to go anyway. I was thinking, like, could you bring a bed sheet into the movie theater? And just like spread it out and like over 6 seats and then sit down? Or can I bring a can of Lysol? Is that a thing? I don't know.
Well, I still laugh at the story of you going to Hershey Park with your wipes, your disinfectant wipes, and you're wiping down Fahrenheit before you sat down on it. I like that.
Absolutely. Well, this is what I'm thinking about the movies too, is I do want to go back to the movies, and I can't imagine they'll be packed, right? I think especially if you go, like at 2:00 during the week, and you go there, you bring your can of Lysol, you sit in a weird seat up in the front, maybe to the side. That's fine. I can do that, right? Yeah. I want to see Bill and Ted in the big screen. Come on.
Yeah, I don't know if I talked about this on the Costa Radio podcast or if we did it on our off topic, but I was at the beach 2 weeks ago, and it was all right. It was great to get away. It was great to get out of this house where where the studio is. It was nice to go to the beach and see the water and fly a kite. That was cool, and I found a beach where nobody was. But then, like, all the things I like to do at the beach, I felt like I couldn't do. And I even pushed myself a little bit, EB. I went to my favorite tiki bar down on the shore, and still I ate outside and I had some drinks outside, but I was still like, there was a cloud over the whole thing because I was constantly looking around like, hey, are these people getting too close to me? Are they breathing on my drink? What's going on? for somebody like me who's got a little bit of that anxiety, I don't know, man. I don't know if any of this is worth it.
And I've taken a couple of weekend trips, and it's tough when you take a vacation. I haven't taken a proper vacation this summer, but those little weekend trips going somewhere to the lake or something like that, you find yourself slipping into vacation mode, and then you're really happy about it because you're finally slipping into that. And then you're like, oh yeah, you know, it'd be fun. We should go out to eat at a seafood place and go play
Yes.
Your
Absolutely.
mind will drift into that stuff, and then you'll be like, oh, I'm at the beach, man. I haven't played skee ball yet, and I can't because the arcade.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, we were coming back from dinner, and somebody said, "Oh my God, look at that putt-putt! It looks so fun. Let's go!" And normally, as they said, "Look at that putt-putt," I'd already be turning in. But this time, like something inside me was like, "Nope, no, I can't do it. Nope."
You're constantly getting knocked back down, I think, is what's happening. But Halloween, to bring it back to the Scarefest and things like that, I think what the parks are doing is good, that they're still trying to do something.
Yes.
I always have been a fan of Holiday World's Halloween events. And they just started those up, several years ago, actually welcoming folks for Halloween. They've gotten slightly more scary, but it's still a very family friendly Halloween event down there. You go and there's hay bales and there's the corn husks and the pumpkins are everywhere, and you can go see a magic show and do all the cutesy stuff. And I can see still being able to do that comfortably.
Sure.
I feel like.
Sure.
So you can still get your Halloween fix in a little bit, but like everything else that we're dealing with, it's going to be watered down and different.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea of going to the haunts at night, because I've done the haunts at night and people are bumping into each other and people are scared and yelling all the time. And there's a lot of teenagers, and teenagers are the worst.
They're the worst with the mask. They don't want to wear the mask.
That's what I mean, is they're already the worst. So now they're even the worst, worser. Here, I live in a college town, and all the students are coming back, and it's like, hey, look at all the house parties.
Yes. Oh yeah. And and the younger you are, the more you can take it.
Right. Exactly. And so the more that you're out there and you're doing, and so I don't know. I don't know if I'll be going back to the parks for Halloween. I think I did my parks, and I think that maybe is how everybody is. Like, I need to dip my toe in it. I'll go to the beach, but I don't really need to go to the beach a lot.
Yeah,
I'll go see Bill and Ted in the theater with my Lysol spray.
Just spray it
I'm not going to go and see movies casually. I'm going to go only for the movies that I really, really
I know what you
really
could do.
Want to see.
You know what you could do is every time they say excellent, spray the Lysol in the air. Or every time
just a cloud around me, like a drinking game.
Yeah.
Like every time they do a guitar riff.
You just spray it. Yeah, there you go. I like that.
Excellent.
Are you looking forward to that, by the way?
No, but I'll go see it anyway.
I'm going to go see it anyway, but I have extremely low expectations for it, and then I'm hoping it blows them away. That's what I'm hoping. But
I can't see any possible way it could be good.
I know.
Right? Like, I'm like looking at other movies that have come out and done the same thing, Ghostbusters. I held out hope, and I shouldn't have in the past, and so I'm not trying to with this.
I know. I've seen both trailers, and the trailer made me smile but not laugh. And so that worried me a little bit. There was no part where I was like, "Oh my God, this is going to be," but it didn't happen.
There's a lot of Bad Boys for Life going on. With, Martin Lawrence being a great big chubby, and Keanu and Brad. What's his name? Brad Winters.
Dude, I wanted to like Bad Boys for Life so much. I rented that the other night, and I was like, "Oh, please give me my money back." I crawled into the cable box, and I was like, "Please, I need it back." That was terrible. That was terrible.
Alex Winters.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right.
But dude, yeah.
Yeah. So that's your first drop, is that we're glad Six Flags is announcing these Halloween events, and hopefully the Six Flags near all of our listeners will be doing something. If you need to get a Halloween fix, it will be available to you. And if you haven't gone to the parks all summer long, this is maybe your last opportunity, and you don't mind. That's the thing too, is it's like, well, I can go and I can just walk around, and if I don't like it, I can leave, or I can just get my little bit of fill and go home and not feel bad about it, because I haven't been in the parks that much. It's kind of like the movies, right? If I went to the movie and for whatever reason the theater was packed, I would leave.
Yeah.
Right? I'd just be like, goodbye, $12.
Yeah. I had the stream the other day, and tell me what you think of this. I don't even know if this would work, but like So I haven't spent any money on theme parks this year, right? And I don't know, if you add up how much one spends on going to parks, like people like us who love them, I mean, how much is that per year, right? It's definitely over $1,000 probably.
Yeah.
Maybe for some people it's way more than $1,000. What if Busch Gardens said to me, for $1,000, you get to come in and have the park to yourself?
Not to yourself, but what was the park that was going to open? There was a park in Oregon that was going to do tours for 10 people.
Yes. Okay, let's say that 10 people. 10 people.
10 people. And you would not necessarily be exclusive to the park, but your 10 people would never interact with other groups of 10. That's how limited it will be.
Exactly.
Right.
I would be so down for that. And I'm surprised the parks aren't doing that a little more. Like, okay, here's the deal. We're going to have your group of 15 people, and you will never see anyone else. And
is it $1,000 each of the 15?
No, maybe it's more like Halloween Horror Nights. Like maybe it's 300, 350. Like it's like a VIP tour.
I think you could do many hundreds. Yeah, I do.
I think so too. I
really do, especially if it was a park that you love and you got a good group. I mean, yeah, for sure. Now that I think about it, if you told me right now that I could pay $500 to go with 15 people to Cedar Point.
Yeah, and you knew all 15 and you were like, these people are safe.
And nobody else is going.
Yeah.
Well, even if it was just like if we got 15 listeners of Coaster Radio together and everybody was cool and promised to wear their mask.
Yep.
I would totally do it. $500.
And what if there were like 20 tour groups in the park, going around at that time? And what if
they just coordinated it well enough that everybody was at a different restaurant or on a different ride and you just would never interact with those other groups. You'd never wait in line. It's like, wow, Millennium Force was fun. Let's do it again? Yeah, go again.
Exactly, right? I would like that. I know that the park would not make money off it, probably. Because, 20 groups times 15. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, make it so that would be 20 groups times 15 would be 300 people.
Yeah.
And let's charge 10 times the regular ticket price.
Okay. So like 450.
So that'd be like 3,000 people in the park. So that would be like a very slow day at the park.
Yeah.
I don't know. The math might work.
It might work out. It might work out. What if you had like the tour guide knew how to operate all the rides, and so they turn?
Oh, you're cutting costs.
Yeah,
that way you're cutting, or you recruit the people in your group.
We're going to show you how to do it.
Then we could check off our I wish I could launch the roller coaster bucket list.
See, like for instance, if we went with Coaster Radio, we'd have people like Dan, the T-shirt guy, who have run roller coasters before. He'd be like, I know how to do this, and the ride would go,
That's what the roller coaster sounds like when you start it.
You press the buttons. That's in my dream. That's what it does.
Yeah, it's like an old timey 1950s science fiction movie.
There goes the instrument.
The ticker tape comes out. Prepare to ride.
It's like the computer in Lost.
The reel to reels are like spinning back and forth.
Yeah,
the lights.
Yes.
Yeah. There's roller coasters that are themed. That I'm trying to think of, like what queue lines, like Exterminator at Kennywood, right?
Oh yeah, that's right.
With the blinking lights.
Yeah. See,
all roller coasters should be like that.
Speaking of that, somebody was said on Twitter the other day, "You better get your rides in on Exterminator because it's going to be gone in a few years."
A few years. I mean, but that's probably been Exterminator for the past 10 years.
Yeah, but like, it's just a wild mouse. Does it have to go away? Like, that doesn't seem like that's something that would have to go away, that you could fix that. Just a wild mouse coaster.
Or just dump $1 million on it and make it better. Like Revenge of the Exterminator.
Yeah. Like
you could flip it. You could flip it. Instead of you're in a mouse car, you're in an Exterminator car.
Oh.
And the mice are attacking you.
Oh, see, that would be cool.
There you go. Yeah. Kennywood, you can have that one for free.
There you go. I like that. Oh, hang on. Let me give you that. Give you a ding for that. That's good.
All right. Well, we went way off the first drop. So let's move on with some more news, Mike, with quick hits.
Quick hits.
That felt good, though. I like going off topic there a little. He was on topic, though, but
it was on topic, off the news. So
off the news.
Good theme park and roller coaster talk here in quick hits too. This is a fun one that we have been following for a really long time. We actually have real life video now of the Bolt roller coaster operating. That's going to be installed at the Carnival Mardi Gras ship.
Yeah, and I've got to say, after watching this in action, and I guess what they did is they built it on land, and then they're just going to pick it up and move it.
Mm-hmm.
So you can actually see, even the way it is on land, how it's going to fit onto the ship and stuff. But I like the speed of this. I was watching it and I was like, wow, that's actually moving pretty quickly. It looked good.
I was surprised. This thing looked like a gimmick. It looked really dumb. But seeing a person on it and seeing those drone video shots of it as it moves along, it doesn't go that fast with like 28 miles an hour or something like that.
Yeah.
But it looks fast. And then thinking about it on top of a cruise ship, that's going to be really fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I like this. And giving people the option to go faster or slower is cool. Like so that you actually like have the handlebar that
with the speedometer right there too.
Yeah. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, that's very cool. So I would look forward to riding this. If I was to take a cruise, I would probably check the Carnival Mardi Gras and see if it made sense.
I know.
Just to ride this.
I liked your ideas from a couple seasons ago or a couple months ago when you said we should do a meetup on the Carnival of Mardi Gras. And we
could do a cruise ship meetup. I think that would be dope.
Yeah.
Everybody saved up all their money from this season.
That's
Maybe
what
next season we all have a little bit more to spend. We can do the cruise.
That could be fun.
Mm-hmm,
a cruise is fun. Have you ever done that? Have you ever done one?
I've never done a cruise. And I know you were nervous about the possibility of going out on a cruise. Like, I'd be trapped and all the people. And you enjoyed it. You liked it.
I loved it. I was shocked how much I liked it. Yeah, it was fun. It was really fun. So I think once all of this, bull is done, maybe we do it, man. Maybe we do it. Like once we get past all this nonsense, we go and do it.
I think that could be very fun.
Yeah. I did a story on Theme Park News, our daily podcast, about Universal Orlando. They're shutting down a couple of their hotels just because the need is not there.
Right.
Like I think they opened up thinking everybody would come back in droves to all the theme parks, but I think all the parks are finding that a lot of people are staying home and only the real diehards are heading out.
Well, or people are going just once, I think is part of it too. I think people are going back. Like, I mean, myself, I will typically visit, 8, 10, 12 parks in a season. And I went to 2 and I feel like I'm done.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
If you were in Florida, you probably would go to Universal a couple of times maybe. But no, I go once and then be done.
Yeah. So what's also interesting to go along with Orlando shutting down some of the hotels is now they are saying that they are launching date-based pricing to give guests more flexibility when planning a visit to Universal Orlando.
Oh, date-based pricing. Is this kind of like what Disney does, where the high volume days, but no days are high volume?
I know, and this is what's interesting because I would think a high volume day would be a Saturday, but it seems like just let's take the middle of September, for instance. A Sunday is 141, a Monday is 141, but then it goes up. Tuesday is 144, Wednesday is 147, Thursday is 146, and then Friday is 146, but then Saturday goes to 143.
That doesn't seem like it's enough of a change to warrant the effort.
No, right? Yeah, I mean, you're talking a couple bucks. You're not talking $20.
No, I would expect it would be more like when you're picking your flights, right? If I fly home on a Sunday afternoon versus flying home on a Tuesday morning, it's $100 or more easily.
Yeah. So
that's really interesting.
That's really weird.
Maybe it's like a soft rollout and then next season it's going to be more dramatic and more dramatic, not in the favor of the guests.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe
right. They're going to be doing high volume days up close to $200.
Yeah. So I thought that was interesting, but that's for a 2-day park to park ticket right there, what they're talking about. So interesting stuff there. I just thought that was kind of a interesting thing to do during this time. So, and I need your help with this next story because I've read it now 2 or 3 times. It's being reported at a lot of places, but the article I'm looking at here is the Daily Mail over in the UK. But let me read you the headline here just so you can see. Mystery as man dies after getting stuck 4 feet down in water slide support pipe at Arizona Aquatic Park.
Right. And I'm looking at the pictures and this guy didn't get stuck. Like when I first saw this, I was like, is this one of those things where like the drain malfunctioned and he got sucked to the bottom of the pool? Is this? No, this is. So imagine an enclosed water slide that goes around and around and around, does a couple of like a 360 around a center support beam. Well, that support beam is hollow. This guy, I guess, climbed up the structure.
Yeah.
fell in. They don't know. That's what this article is saying, is they don't know if it's a worker or if it's somebody who was visiting the park. All they know is that they had to go in, dismantle the thing, and get the guy out. It's crazy.
Yeah, and I'm looking at a picture of the pipe, and I don't think it would be easy to fall into because it's about the size of a man. It's like even smaller than that. So somehow he had to climb into it. And the question is, why? Like, and there was no water. He just got stuck in the pipe. It's like that Willy Wonka.
Was it full of rainwater at the bottom?
I don't know. Well, the thing is, he went in and then he was
drowned,
calling for help. Maybe there was water or something at the bottom, but he was calling for help, and the police could hear him for hours while they were trying to help him. And then at 2 a.m., he just stopped talking. So I don't know if he drowned or just like got stuck. But that's a good question. Maybe there was water in there.
Oh, this is so weird. Yeah, I'm looking at another website now. Scottsdale, Arizona, emergency crews recovered a body after an incident.
Yeah.
An officer was making his rounds at 12:30 a.m. and he heard the victim. Oh, weird. And they were communicating with him all the way until 2 a.m. So when did he go up there? It says he would have had to go over a tall fence and then somehow climbed the structure and fell in. Just a 31-year-old.
And another article said he was a transient, so he might have just been like, maybe somebody who was homeless looking for a place to stay. But I don't know why he would choose the pipe, because it's like a vertical pipe. Like literally, if you're looking for like something, do you remember in Willy Wonka when the kid got stuck in the pipe? That's what the type of pipe it is.
Augustus Gloop.
Yeah, Augustus Gloop. That's it. Yeah,
Augustus.
Yeah, this guy did that, and I don't know why. That's why this is truly a mystery. And it's sad and all, but like it's strange. Like it doesn't make any sense. Like why he would want to get in there. Like there's no need.
Weird.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll follow that story.
Weird. So they took the pipe apart. They had to dismantle the whole thing.
Yeah.
It looks like, and this article now I'm reading says that the police officer that was patrolling the grounds as security heard him a half a mile away because this metal pipe sent his voice out so loudly.
Wow.
He could hear him. So he must have come into the park after hours and fallen in. And it took them 5 hours to dismantle the thing to actually recover this guy.
Yeah.
Crazy. That's crazy. Well, that's going to be a story that every teenager will tell.
Yes, right.
Every time they visit that park, it's like, see that pipe over there? That's the one that killed the guy.
Oh, yeah, right. And it's going to be like for years, it's going to be the urban legend in the park.
The urban yep, exactly. And it'll grow and expand and become more and more something else.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Oh, yeah. Last story here at Quick Hits is one that I heard from you this week at Theme Park News, and it was about Dolly Parton. And she gave an interview to Billboard, and she said some really cool things. Like the more I hear Dolly Parton talk, especially in the last couple of years, the more I like her.
Well, I think she's a celebrity like a lot of celebrities where it's like, you know what? I've done it all, and now it's time for me to really just say what I really think.
Yep. Yeah.
I don't have to worry about selling any more records. I don't have to worry about anything else. It's time for me to just really stand up and tell people.
Yeah, but I like how she can use her popularity to promote a good message, and I know that Taylor Swift did that too. But it's harder for somebody like Taylor Swift, who is still selling thousands of albums. I mean, not that Dolly Parton isn't. Dolly Parton has, like you said, done it all. Movies, music, everything, business, and everything. But but still, Dolly Parton says some things here in this Billboard article that might affect what some people who go to Dollywood would think. And so I think that took some balls because...
Right. Well, I think Dolly's been around for a long time. And so she's got a much different audience, I think, than the Taylor audience. The Taylor audience kind of pressured her, I think, over the past 4 or 5 years. Like, Taylor, why are you not speaking out? You are an influencer of the utmost degree. They were asking for it, where Dolly's fans will probably be shocked by this and be conflicted by what she's saying. So what's the quote here is, of course, Black Lives Matter. Do we think our little white asses are the only ones that matter? No.
Yeah. Yeah. And it goes on to say how Dolly Parton, she used to have the Dixie Stampede dinner theater show.
Mm-hmm,
and, she took off the Dixie from it years ago, actually, after those Charlottesville white supremacist rallies that they had. She took it off then, way before Dixie Chicks were doing it and all those other. I mean, she was doing it way back then.
Well, and hopefully, speaking to this boomer generation that I think would pay most attention to Dolly, she said herself that she's been guilty of innocent ignorance is what she calls it.
Yeah.
And truthfully, she would not dream of hurting anyone on purpose. So I hope that resonates with the people that know Dolly, those boomers out there that maybe have a little bit of that innocent ignorance, and maybe they can admit it too. Something that was really cool was there was an artist who was making a mural of Dolly in, was it Nashville, I think? And she was just finishing it. And this Billboard article came out the next day. And she went back to the mural and added that quote to the mural of Dolly that she was painting. I thought that was pretty cool.
I love this quote. She says, "As soon as you realize that something is a problem, you should fix it. Don't be a dumbass. That's where my heart is." I like that. And that's what I think we should all be saying these days. Don't be a dumbass.
I'm just disappointed that all of this came out in a print article.
Yes.
Because I would like her to say those words. Please.
I know. I would take that soundbite and I'd be playing that over and over here.
I want to hear her saying that. So that's Dolly. And Dolly, hopefully, that's awesome. And so she gets a little bit of CoasterRadio.com time as a co-owner of Dollywood.
Yeah. That's, you know what, man? That's the dream here at Coaster Radio, is to get her on this show. That's the dream. That's like the next thing that we have to do. We got to figure it out.
Talk about the white whale, right?
Right. Yes.
Not that Dolly's anywhere near a whale.
No. But like, can you imagine
very
that?
white.
Yeah, that's very true. But I think
she admits.
I think she'd do a good interview here. And
I think she absolutely would.
You know what? And for real, like, I know, like, we say boobs and stuff on the show and we goof around and stuff. But if she ever came on the show, it would be two gentlemen talking to her. There would be no nonsense. I guarantee
And we have said that over and over again. If any Dolly people are possibly listening, or somebody who knows Dolly, we would. You know that. You know us.
Yeah.
We would be good.
I'd be terrified to say anything ungentlemanly to her. I would never do it. Can you imagine? You know why? Because she'd yell at us, and I don't want that. I don't want to be yelled at.
You're a dumbass.
Yeah, she'd call me a dumbass if I said, like, boobs. Like, they're not going to do that.
The name is Dumas.
Yeah. Dumas. Hello.
I can't hear dumbass.
I am Alexander Dumas. I love it. So, yeah, we're getting to the end of the season here, and this is where it always happens that we have a ton of live trip reports that have just built up because, we get so into the show that sometimes we don't have time to play them. So let's go through some right now, EB. These are all kind of shorter ones, but they're from a variety of parks, and we can start listening, seeing how people are doing. Let's go first to a park we don't get to talk about much, EB. Let's take a listen.
Hey guys, this is Lindsay, and I'm in Salem, New Hampshire today at Canopy Lake Park having an awesome day. I ditched my family and my work today to come out and just see what things are like in the time of COVID, and I'm sitting in front of their coaster called Untamed right now. It's a Gerstlauer Eurofreighter, and it's pretty cool. I gotta be honest, it's themed with a bear theme. Oh, here it comes.
Oh, here we go. Nice.
So right now, with all the social distancing restrictions and precautions, they're actually only running it one party per train. And that meant that since I'm here by myself, I got to ride the thing by myself in my own car, which was a new thing for me and really, really cool. I would love to do that all day. Definitely impressed with the staff here. They're reminding everybody to keep their masks on. And to be honest, most of the people who are here are following the orders and things with optimism and good humor, which is just great. Really makes for a good day, and I can't wait to enjoy the rest of it. One other thing about Untamed, they have themed it so that they've painted the supports and things like birch trees, so it fits in with the surrounding landscaping and stuff, and it looks really cool. So definitely a park worth coming to. Love the show, guys. Thanks so much.
All right. Thank you very much, Lindsay. So that was a fantastic live trip report. Lots of info in there. EB, have you been to Canopy Lake? I can't remember.
Yeah, Canopy Lake is one of the parks that I visited when I did my New England road trip, and I thought Canopy Lake was just wonderful. It's a small park, 4 coasters. They've got an old corkscrew there. They've got the Yankee Cannonball, which is an old 1930s PTC coaster that's just great. It's a very cute park. They've got a lot of old school rides. I think they have one of the where they put the dome over the scrambler? They've got and the lasers and the lights and all that. They've got a couple of really old school arcades and a pinball hall.
Nice.
I remember the other thing about Canopy Lake that I loved. Some of their food stalls look like the food like in Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Oh, cool.
Like you go to get your French fries from the giant French fry thing. You go to get your grilled cheese, and there's a giant grilled cheese on top of the stand.
Yeah,
it's a great park.
That's awesome. And Lindsay just told us the best thing about COVID-19 is that if you go to Canopy Lake,
you ride by yourself.
Yes, I love it.
That's cool.
Yeah, Zen Ride. If you plan it right, you get the Zen Ride. That's great. All right, cool. All right, let's go to another live trip report and another park that you have been to recently, EB.
Hey Mike and EB, this is John from Utah, Lagoon today with a live trip report. This is our home park, but it's a very special park for us because my family's been coming here for about 6 generations. I'm standing outside of the roller coaster, the classic ride, and this park includes where my grandparents actually ran into each other and went to their first date to the dance pavilion. And so with that family history, it's very appropriate to come here for my big 5-0 birthday.
Oh.
So we've had a great day. COVID standards have been enforced very well here. Here comes the roller coaster. And it's been great, a lot of walk-on rides. The other thing that I wanted to report on is Primordial, like many other new rides, construction's halted. So EB, we may not know what that thing is for yet another year. All right, guys, love the show. Talk to you later. Bye.
All right. Thank you very much, John. Great trip report from you as well. And
I thought Lagoon Park was a wonderful park to visit. Anybody who hasn't been to Lagoon Park, put it on your list and go see it. It's out of the way for most people, being outside of Salt Lake City in Utah, but I think it's worth the visit. They've got 10 roller coasters, Primordial, hopefully next year. And those 10 roller coasters, some of them are really, really wonderful. Cannibal is awesome. Roller coaster is another old wooden roller coaster that goes out into the parking lot, which is really cool. They've got the zoo, which I don't like. It's horrible, and I don't know why they still have that zoo. But you can camp next to Canopy Lake, which is really, really cool too. And their campground has its own entrance. You can walk right in. It's another great park, and I'm actually happy that Primordial is delayed another year because I did not do my West Coast. I was going to do another West Coast family road trip this summer. Did not go. So now if I go, maybe I can put Utah back on the destination list and ride Primordial because I'm really curious to see what that's going to be.
That's looking amazing. Just the construction of that is so good. And in a minute, we're going to talk about our theme park parks and rides, white whales, places you want to go, rides you want to ride that just haven't been to. That's right now kind of at the top of my list. Lagoon.
Yeah.
I really think Lagoon is a park. Maybe it might be at the top. I have to think about that. I'm going to think about that a little bit.
You're stateside anyway, maybe. And Salt Lake City is a really weird city, so add a couple of days just to walk around and look at the Mormons. It's
okay,
cool.
I will do it. I will do it. Yeah. All right, so people are out at the parks, man, and we've got a couple of trip reports coming up here from the America's Roller Coaster, because let's see what's happening up at Cedar Point, especially during these crazy times.
Hey Coaster Radio, it's Graham from Indiana, right next to Top Thrill Dragster at Cedar Point. There it goes.
Whoa.
It has been a great day here so far. I'm here for 3 days with my family, and I am absolutely loving it here. I've already ridden Dragster twice today and several other rides. Steel Vengeance was down, but that's okay because I'm hoping it'll be back up in the next 2 days. Almost everyone is wearing masks, which is a huge delight to me and a lot of people here. It is being well enforced, and the rest zones, as they call the non-mask zones, are very well socially distanced and in good spaces. There's almost no lines here. The highest I've seen was Valraven at 75 minutes, and the park is almost deserted, especially on the midways. Anyway, I'm happy to report that I'm having a great time here, and I'm sure that anyone else who comes here will too. Huge fan of the show. Keep up the good work. Bye.
All right, thank you very much. So there's another great trip report. One that makes me want to go, man. I hear that, and I hear lots of space. I hear empty midways. Makes me want to walk in, EB. It does.
Yeah, that sounds good. And I bet Valraven probably had such a big line just because it's a dive coaster, and if they're distancing on that thing, they're probably only running it with 4, 5, 6 people.
I bet so.
Trains.
Yeah. I saw a picture of Griffin at Busch Gardens during their coasters and craft brews event. And, and it was half full, the train, and totally spaced out. So that's pretty good. So let's go for one more here from Cedar Point. Get a double dose here of Cedar Point. This one is from a longtime friend of the show.
Hey, Coaster Radio. Tom from Louisville here at America's Roller Coaster Cedar Point. In the middle of COVID times, I just got off Top Thrill Dragster for the first time in my entire life. Awesome. It's a good listener discussion question. What is your theme park white whale? This would be mine. I've been in this park countless times, and the ride's been broken down when I'm in line for it. Been broken down just the whole day. Oh, here goes one. But I got on it. It's pretty cool. Wow. You go really high. So all it took was a worldwide pandemic to get me on this coaster. Hope you guys are doing good. It's okay operations here, I would say. And about 60-40 good mask behavior. So not the best time, but, making the best of what I can with it. Went to Kings Island yesterday. Totally different situation. Best operations you could imagine. Staff was kicking butt. People were kicking butt. So if you can get a weekend there, it's worth a visit. All right, man. Good talking to you guys.
All
Talk
right.
to you soon.
Tom from Louisville calling in, having a good time up at Cedar Point.
I like his review of Dragster. Wow, it's really high. Also fast. From what I hear.
And loud, man. He must have been standing right by the drive wheel there. Did you hear that?
That was great. Yeah, him and Grant got us some good sounds, and everybody did actually. I really enjoyed those trip reports. Those were good ones. So
those were awesome, man.
Those in.
So good, so good. So, but you heard Tom from Louisville kind of tee up today's listener interactive topic. Is that
I like this?
Yeah, the white whale question. Like, which ride, which park is on the top of your list? Like, I've got to get there, but you just haven't done it yet.
Your theme park white whale. Well, and I feel like if you're going to take the metaphor all the way, right, your white whale has to be something that's constantly eluding you as well, right? You almost go and then it gets canceled, or you try to go, but the plans fall through, or you decide something else last minute. So something you've almost gone and really, really want to go to, but can't quite seem to capture. Mike, you've got some here that I see in front of me written down in our show rundown. What are they?
Yeah, well, here's the one that I guess is the biggest white whale. It's because I've been to England probably 5 or 6 times, and every time I go to England, I ask the people I am with, can I go to Alton Towers? I need to go to Alton Towers to ride Nemesis, and each time I get turned down. It's like, no. We don't have a car. It's going to be too hard to get there. We're going in the opposite direction. We have too many other plans. I can't get to Nemesis.
That's exactly the white whale,
Yes.
right? Because you're like Ahab and you can see it.
Yeah.
Right? And you chase after it, but no, you get steered in another direction.
Yeah.
Oh,
so to me, I think that is my biggest white whale because it's one that ever since I became a fan of this stuff, I've heard about it. And I want to see the river of blood, and I want to see the weird trains, and I like how the ride was built into the hill.
Yeah.
So that you're never really high up. You're always, kind of hugging the ground. So for me, Nemesis is my white whale.
That's good. That's excellent.
Although I have a list of rides I want to ride, but I haven't ever been to the park while it's open.
Haven't gotten that close to them. Well, what are some other ones? Just rattle them off.
Yeah,
here.
so other ones are Steel Vengeance at Cedar Point. I need to get, because I don't think either of us can really do this show much longer unless we ride that ride, since it's so high up on so many people's lists. Terran at Phantasialand. It's that's like right up there with Nemesis in terms of one that I want to ride. Mystic Manor at Hong Kong Disneyland. One of the very first trackless dark rides, and I've just heard that's amazing. Rise of the Resistance. I sort of feel that that's a white whale ride because we were at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, but it wasn't open.
Yes.
And I saw the building there, and I saw somebody standing in front of it, and I couldn't get there, so I sort of felt that way. But then, this other ride that I really like, I think we talked about it a couple months ago, Star Trek Operation Enterprise at Movie Park Germany.
Sure. That would be great to go ride that.
Yeah, it looks just fun. It's a cool launch coaster, back and forth, but the whole Star Trek Enterprise, TNG, like a Star Trek The Next Generation roller coaster sounds kind of funny to me.
That sounds wonderful. Well, to go a little bit off topic, have you watched any of Lower Decks on CBS?
No, I have not. Is that on All Access?
It's on CBS All Access.
Yeah.
I think episode 3 is going to be out when this podcast drops, so you'll have 3 episodes to watch. They're doing that week-to-week thing instead of dropping the whole season, which is super annoying. But it's funny because Picard didn't make me get CBS All Access. But this show did. It's pretty good. I like it a lot because it takes place just after Voyager. So it's still in that Star Trek TNG kind of an area.
Yeah.
There's references, of course, to those characters and things like that. It's pretty great. I like it.
Awesome. That's a good idea for a show. But yeah, I've been wanting to check out the Picard show too. I just haven't.
To stay off topic for just a little bit.
Yeah.
I tried to watch Picard and I got like 5 episodes in. It's so stinking slow.
Oh,
it's not a binge show. It's definitely not. I can see why it's week to week, because you just can't keep it. Yeah. And everything takes so long. It's like, so I'm betraying you. Oh yeah, you are betraying me? That's right. I'm betraying you. We'll have this conversation again in 40 minutes because we have to remind everybody and have long conversations about it. It's so slow.
Oh man. I was looking forward to it.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting. And there's like a guest star, right? That's the cute thing with Picard is it's like, hey, in this episode, remember this character?
Yeah.
Every episode has one of those.
But are they going to like the real minor characters from TNG?
Sometimes, I actually do like that, is that they are doing like main cast members, of course, are popping up in each episode. But then they're also having like, there were like 3 episodes with that guy and he's in the show and that, you know what I mean? And
that's
like,
fun.
wow, it really does connect back if you're a TNG fan and you know the episodes.
That's
Anyway,
cool.
That's way off topic. I apologize.
No, that's good. That's good. I think I will have to break down and eventually watch that just to see, because that's one of the fun things about what we're going through now is you can go back and binge old shows, and I found myself kind of gravitating to that. Like, I'm not a Star Trek fan at all. Like, I don't know anything about Star Trek, but for some reason the storytelling on The Next Generation is good, and I enjoy it. It's like, changes up week to week.
If you don't think you can stomach the first 2 seasons, drop in right in season 3, and it's amazing.
Yeah, it's really good stuff. So
it's cheesy. First 2 seasons are super cheesy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they are. Yeah.
All right. What's my white whale? I had to think about this because I was trying to flip it around a little bit to that, like almost gone to experience it, because I was saying Nemesis, but I've never almost gone to get out to Alton Towers or to Thorpe Park for, I'd love to. I think if I did an overseas trip, that's probably where I would go. But I have wanted to and tried to and made plans to go to Disney World. I have not been to Disney World since I was a teenager, I think, and with my family. I've been to Disneyland a couple of times, but not Disney World. And so I'm going to say Expedition Everest.
Oh, good.
Because people still talk about that roller coaster. That is, if we did Theme Park Smarts and you ask people to name a roller coaster, they might say Expedition Everest.
Yeah.
I think it's a roller coaster that people know, and I haven't ridden it, and I want to.
It's a good one, man.
I want to see that dumb Yeti.
Yeah. Even in the B mode with wind blowing through his hair.
Even in the B mode, I want to see it. Yep.
Flashing lights and wind in his hair. That's all right. They got to fix that eventually, man.
I think it's too late. I think it's too late for that. They're not fixing nothing.
Yeah, too bad.
Do you think they'll ever replace it with a screen?
Oh, like a...
Or a projection?
I don't know. They could.
Right? I mean, because it's hard to get in there, they say, to replace the giant animatronic.
Yeah.
I mean, see, and again, I don't know the ride well enough to talk about it. Could a projection mapped thing work in that section?
Maybe so. Maybe better than what's in there now, just a strobe light.
Yeah, I don't know.
All the advancements in projection mapping.
I would like to go down and ride Expedition Everest. That's my white whale.
It's really good. It is really good. It's a long roller coaster too, which is great. And it's fun to see how many trains are operating.
Well, and
on
the queue looks really fun.
Yeah.
And it looks super well themed. And I've never been to Animal Kingdom at all, because when I was a teen, I don't think Animal Kingdom existed yet.
That's what sucks, man. That's where we're supposed to be going in like a month from now. For our Coast Radio meetup.
And again, I probably would have bought a ticket to just go to Animal Kingdom and done that and done Avatar and everything else.
Yeah, that's on my list too. I've not been to Pandora, World of Avatar. I need to do that. See what's up with the whole ride there and Flight of Passage, all that stuff.
New tech. That's cool to see. Yep. All right, what do we got here? We got a lot of listeners that submitted their answers for what is your theme park white whale.
Yeah, let's see. There some people talk park, some people talk rides. Let's see. Joshua wrote in and said his biggest white whale or golden unicorn is Wicked Twister at Cedar Point. He's been there 3 times, and it's the only ride that he has ever been walk of shamed on, ever.
Oh, buddy.
And he also missed out on Rip Ride Rocket due to breakdowns. Cheetah Hunt was on that list, but he actually rectified that last year. But I hear that, that for some reason, Wicked Twister is a really hard ride for a lot of people to ride because of, height and even, just different body sizes, that you don't have to be, gigantic. It's really hard to get on.
Yeah, if you're just uniquely shaped of some sort.
Yeah.
What's really awful is going to a park like Cedar Point and missing 1 credit.
Yes, absolutely.
And that 1 credit is Wicked Twister. That's awful. That's terrible.
I know, right? Yeah. But if you have to miss one, I think that's one to miss. That's not,
yeah.
you know.
I'm just saying, but now you still have to go back to Cedar Point to ride it.
Yeah.
And that's terrible.
Wes joins me. He says Nemesis at Alton Towers, but he's hoping to get there next year.
Good. Okay.
Yeah. Eddie wrote in and said the stupid wilderness run at Cedar Point. No one will ever lend him his kid for him to ride it, and he needs the credit.
See, there again, one credit missing.
Yep. Dan, the t-shirt guy, says it was always Nemesis for him until a few years ago when he finally went there. But now it is Wood Coaster and Night Valley in China. And he can't imagine there's many things like a massive GCI twister on the side of a mountain. So that sounds good.
Cool.
Joshua wrote in and said one of mine that I just recently got, X2 at Magic Mountain.
Yep.
That one was on my list for a long time.
That's a weird, that one's worth going and seeking out.
Yeah. I mean, because there's nothing like that out there. James wrote in and said, at Knoebels, as much as he wants to ride Flying Turns in Phoenix, what he really wants to ride is the Brass Ring Carousel.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, there are other carousels with brass rings. You don't have to just go to Knoebels.
Yeah, so that's a good one. Brian said Tron at Shanghai Disneyland, but since we've got one coming to Florida, he's going to get to ride it soon.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, so that's good. Also, anything at Disneyland. He's a big Walt Disney World fan and worked there in college, but has not gotten to Anaheim yet.
Ooh, hasn't gotten back. Okay.
Yeah. Tim Wilson said he's going to go with the dark ride, and that is Indiana Jones at Disneyland.
So good. My favorite ride.
Yes, he is somebody also who has been to the Magic Kingdom at Disney World many times, but never been to the West Coast version of the Magic Kingdom. David wrote in and said, The Voyage. And to make it worse, he has traveled from the UK to Holiday World, but injured himself before the trip and couldn't ride it.
That's a white whale for sure then.
Oh, that's it.
Oh, my gosh.
That's very Moby Dick-like, because Captain Ahab oh, man. That would be hard if you just sat there injured watching it. That would be tough.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Callie Mongoose wrote in and said, Universal Studios Florida, anything in that park is his white whale. So he's got a whole park.
Yeah, I feel like I satisfied my Universal need when I went to California, but definitely I do need to go to Universal Florida.
Yeah.
I have not been there either.
Josh wrote in and said, the Shredder at Nickelodeon Universe in the American Dream Mall.
Yeah, okay. I've ridden that one. That's cool.
Yeah, that's good. Dana Clark says, Lightning Rod. I visited twice, and it's been closed both times.
Yeah, that's one that I almost went to. That we went for the meetup, and it was closed. And then a couple of times I wanted to make plans to go back to Dollywood, and didn't because I was afraid it wouldn't be open. And now it's still on my list. It's not that far for me. I could do a weekend and go to Dollywood.
Yes,
I need to.
Yes,
I probably would have gone this summer.
Yeah,
this would have been it, but next summer maybe.
Yeah. Marshall the Big Easy Hider wrote in and said Zadra at Energylandia in Poland. It's on his bucket list. And he thinks there should be a Coaster Radio meetup in 2031.
Oh, 2031. Yes. We're going to Poland. Okay, good. I like that he's giving us enough room to plan.
Yeah.
That's good.
By 2031, we'll have the teleportation devices, so it'll be much easier.
Maybe that was a typo and it was 2021.
Maybe. James Barber wrote in and said Montu at Busch Gardens, Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
He's heard great things about it and loves a good B&M invert. And that is, man, that's a good one. Like, that's one when you ride that, you don't expect, especially if you've ridden more modern B&M ones, you ride that and it's like old school, more forces and a lot of things.
Well, and that's another park that we probably would have gotten to. This CoasterRadio.com fall meetup was going to be down there in Florida and going to ride Gwazi.
Yeah. Sean wrote in and said Millennium Farce. Yeah, he went to Cedar Point when he was younger and was not a roller coaster fan at the time. But now that he would ride any roller coaster anywhere, he wants to go back with his children to ride it and all the rest of the roller coaster offerings.
Absolutely. You got to ride Millennium Farce.
Yeah. Jordan wrote in and said Tokyo Disneyland, specifically Tokyo Disney Sea.
Yes.
And he says once the pandemic is under control, he's going.
Yeah, I think that's... I want to go to the UK and do the roller coaster parks, but if I could go to Tokyo Disneyland Sea, that would be amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Isabel Amanda wrote in and said, definitely the Cyclone at Coney Island. Yes.
Okay, good.
That's one on my list too. I bet it's on yours.
Yeah, and we talked about doing a Coney Island trip too, because we've got a couple of rides up there that have some Coaster Radio connections. Maybe that will be a meetup next year if all goes well.
Yeah, because I think that ride that we are a part of got bumped to 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And I do not see how that ride can open without you and me being there. We've got to be there to see it open. Like I don't see there's a way that we can't do that trip.
We should definitely make that trip. We got to be a part of it.
Yeah. Plus, I want to see if they actually ever put up that cartoon of you and me as pirates. Like,
I want to see us as pirates. The sign.
Yeah. Did that ever go up, or is that in a work in progress?
I think we heard that the audio for that ride is there with our voices. But we sent them artwork to make a sign.
Yeah, like a big
has the
life-size sign, right?
Yeah, with us as pirates saying "Welcome to the ride."
Yeah, yep. I love that. That's so good. I saw. Did you send that to somebody as a pillow recently?
That was a coasterradio.com gift. Yeah, so Patreon members at all the different perk levels, they get stuff sent to them.
Yeah.
Depending if just $1, you get behind the scenes access to the show and that sort of stuff on Patreon. There's the snail mail club where we mail you things. Sometimes we send you a birthday gift. I think that's the $20 level, and I think that was one of the mailings. I sent out a birthday gift. And
oh my god!
Me and Mike as pirates as a throw pillow.
That was the best. It was great because it was on Twitter.
I think I have.
Oh, do you have another one? Do you have one to show people? That's why you've got to watch the live look-in on Tuesday nights, because EB just hugged the pillow.
There it is. I got one right there. I got. How many do I have left? I got 3 left. So
oh my gosh.
They might be coming your way.
Oh,
Patreon.com/coasterradio. You never know what you're going to get in the mail.
That's so good. Where did that cartoon come from? Was it a Fiverr?
Yeah, I
animator?
think I paid somebody on Fiverr. to draw that and design that for us.
So good. I can't wait to see that at Coney Island, and just to stand back and watch people walk by it and see what they think. Like, what is
well,
this?
And I mean, to continue on this, when we were asked by Coney Island Zamperla, who is doing the swinging ship renovation making it this pirate theme, they asked us to dress as pirates and photograph ourselves. And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to go through that much effort. Let me just have somebody draw a cartoon version. That's good.
I love it. Yeah.
Although us dressed as pirates, that would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, because, as much as they think we might have them, we don't have pirate costumes just standing by.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, that's not too far of a throw from what really life is like, but that's all right.
No, I can put together that outfit.
I think so too. I've got some pirate stuff around here. Normally I use it for Halloween, like to dress dummies and stuff, but
Hey. You made your own joke right there.
You go. There you are. Yes. Hello. Here's my pirate outfit. All right. Let's see. A lot of people saying the same things. Emily wrote in and said, like you, EB, Expedition Everest. That's
good.
one she's always wanted. Ryan wrote in and said Nemesis at Alton Towers. There's another one. Mm-hmm. Andrew wrote in and said Terran at Fantasialand. Mike also says Terran at Fantasialand. But actually, he really wants to see the Bourne Stuntacular. When he saw it, it was still in the programming phase, but he wants to see it from start to finish.
Yeah, I mean, I do like a good stunt show, and that one really just looked intriguing to me when I watched the preview online. Just the way they're really blending the screens and the physical props, and it just seems like it would be kind of trippy. And I'm curious to see how well it pulls off in person, because I'm sure the video doesn't do it justice.
I know. And they do a lot of things where they like flip the theater around. There's like some stuff that I think would just be kind of mind-blowing, kind of throw you off. So I'm excited for that. James said, how about just saying Carowinds as a whole?
Sure. Great.
Carowinds was a park I always wanted to get to, and it took a Coaster Radio meetup to get me there. So I was excited that, to spend 2 whole days there and really get to know the park.
No, that was a good choice for a meetup. I really enjoyed Carowinds. Good park.
Yeah. Scott says Guardians of the Galaxy at Disney California Adventure. Karsten says X2 at Magic Mountain. So you see there's certain ones that we're talking
people
about.
Are saying,
yeah. A couple people here, Haley and Scott, said they want a rollback on Top Thrill Dragster specifically.
Well, a rollback of any sort would be amazing. I've never experienced one myself.
Yeah. I was on Top Thrill Dragster once and missed a rollback by two trains.
Oh, man.
It was close. That would have been pretty wild, though, because they let you go again, so you get 2 launches for the price of one. That's pretty good. Brian Wackler wrote in, and, by the way, happy birthday to his wife, Julie. Had a birthday this week. Says there are several for him, but one of the first that comes to mind is Ravine Flyer 2 at Waldemere.
Cool. Great.
Chris wrote in and said any RMC Raptor. So I like that. That's pretty good. John wrote in and said he has so many white whales, but the new Texas Giant is one of them.
Yeah, so it's fun.
And for him, every time he's gone to Six Flags over Texas in the past, it has not been open, or he had to leave before he could ride it.
I had a tough time going down to Texas last year, so
yeah.
Yeah, I would like to get down there again, and because a lot of people were telling me it's not like that, EB. It's not bad operations all the time. You should go back. Maybe one day. But I did get most of my most of the rides in that I wanted to, both Texas Giant and Iron. What's the other one?
I was going to say Iron Rattler, but no, not that one.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Iron Rattler and Texas Giant at the two Texas parks.
Oh yeah, Fiesta Texas. Yep. Exactly. Fiesta Texas was a great park. I love that. But yeah,
I was there on a bad day, man.
Yeah, that's right. You went there and it was like just some bad stuff. Yeah. It's a really great park, but I've not been to Over Texas, so I need to get there. Mm-hmm. That's one of the few Six Flags parks I'm missing. So good stuff, man. Thanks so much to the audience for stepping up, and we hope you get on those rides or get to those parks sometime in 2021.
Well, and that's the thing, right? That's the good thing, I guess, about not getting to the parks now is you really do have the fun of planning your next trip.
Yeah.
And you've maybe got a little bit of extra budget and you've got some tougher choices to make. And making tough choices is sometimes fun because once you make those choices, you start really looking forward to the choice that you make.
Yeah.
Start building it up, get that anticipatement ready to go.
Oh, and you said it so well, EB, like we're not spending money on vacations this year. Or at least most of us aren't. So you could really have a fantastic trip in 2021.
Yeah, assuming you still are employed.
Oh, yeah. I know, right? Jeez.
So anybody who's listening is like, stop talking about how much money everybody has. I was laid off in April. It's like, no, I'm sorry.
I know. That's true. That's true, man. That's true. I should have thought about that. That's very true. But, I'm just hoping things get better for everybody, man. I know a lot of people are struggling out there.
Hey, you know what? I would say things can't get any worse, but Michelle Obama reminded me, yeah, they can.
She said that last I was watching.
Oh, yes, she did. Yes, they can. But it is what it is, Mike. Also, to quote Michelle Obama.
Yeah, that's right. That was you know what? Hey, say what you want about politics and stuff. That was an excellent speech. And as a TV person and somebody who videotapes people a lot, that was pretty fascinating that 18 minutes went by, and I think there were only 2 edits in that video, like where they had to cut to an alternate angle, probably to cut, save like an edit or something. But, the lady spoke for 18 minutes without a flub. That's pretty good. Good. It's hard to do. I don't know if any of you have used teleprompters before, but it's not easy to go that long without making at least one mistake. So, good stuff. Yeah.
Well, speaking of mistakes, Mike, it's time for us to end the show.
Yes, that is true. Fun though. I'm glad that that we had some good talk this week and got a little off the rails at some points, but I liked it. That's good.
No, this is a good episode. Good theme park talk. Good roller coaster talk. Mike, we are not talking about the CoasterRadio.com ride design contest this week because we're giving our contestants another week to get in their revisions before we send those off to our esteemed panel of judges, right?
That's right. And I heard that the gang who is working on Expedition Underground, they're coming up with brand new stuff to put into their submission. We're waiting to hear if the other finalists are doing that as well. But I think by the time this podcast drops, we should have everything from everybody. And then we send it off to our panel of 8 judges for the final voting.
That's right. So this week is when those are going to be coming due. Big Trouble in Little China, Expedition Underground, World Scare, and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly are our 4 finalists going off to our judging panel starting after this podcast drops. And they'll have a couple of weeks to pick the great grand prize winner who's going to get that fantastic crystal trophy.
Yeah. And the plan right now is to let you guys know the judges' decisions on our final episode. We've got 2 more shows left this season. So not next week, but the week after. We should have everybody in, and it'll be a great way to celebrate not only the end of the season of Coaster Radio, the 14th season here, but also celebrating the winner of our ride design contest.
That's right. And thanks, everybody, for sending in your responses for the interactive question. And thank you, of course, for those trip reports. Send in those trip reports. Still, we love to hear them. You can call 424-COASTER is the voicemail line. You can leave a message there or record audio on your smartphone and send it to us, feedback@coasterradio.com or at the website, coasterradio.com. Click the Contact Us link, and there is a recorder built into the page right there that will send it to us. So record in the parks. Send us your review of the park, the coaster, or the trip that you're on.
And you heard how people did it so well this week, all 4 of those with people standing right by the ride so we can really hear them. We love that thunderous sound of the roller coaster going by as you're talking. So cool.
Very fun. Very fun. So thanks, guys. And we want to say another thanks. We talked about the Patreon. That's how you can support the show. If you think the show is worth it, go to patreon.com/Coaster Radio and throw a couple bucks at us. Special thanks to those at the $20 pledge level: Alan Bergfield, Brian Cosson, Charlie and Jesse Brooks, Chris Rankin, Club Z, Coaster101.com, Dan Dyler, Dan the T-Shirt Guy, David Sakala, David Iwanowicz, the Y Family, French Coaster, Grace, and Greg Delaney.
Yes, we've got more, still more. EB, John Brody, Josh Combs, Jumbo Shrimp, Kevin Wilson, Made to Thrill, Marshall the Big EZ Hider, Matt from Yorkshire, Michael Foucault, Paolo de los Reyes, Rick Burnley, Timmy Young, Tom from Louisville, Tony DePhillips, and William Marjoram.
That's right. Also, our honorary executive producers for this episode of CoasterRadio.com are CoasterAddict.com, Slater, Todd Houts, Brian Wackler, and Jason Wade. Thanks, guys.
Yes, thank you so much, guys. This has been a fun show. I had a good time this week. This was fun.
This was a lot of fun. This is good. This is good. This is the true CoasterRadio.com talking about theme parks and roller coasters.
Yeah, so great. And we've got 2 more episodes left in the season. We'll do the first of 2 coming up at you next week. Cool. Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks, guys. We're going to go ahead and shut down the webcast, but have a good week. We'll see you back here next week, Tuesday night, 9:30. Bye.